Robert, fantastic to have you in Glasgow today. Just what's it been like meeting the fans up close here today?
Well, both days have been extraordinary. Yesterday was a little too busy, so I felt that maybe some of the fans didn't quite get their money's worth, because I like to give time, and I like to get the feedback on recent movies and recent television guest appearances I've done from fans. And we were a little rushed yesterday, but I think we gave everybody a little bit of love. But today, I had a couple of fans bring me gifts, and one was a Phantom of the Opera poster I've been craving. I saw a great Czechoslovakian poster of a Stephen King movie I'd done, and that's one of the reasons I come. I love to see that stuff. One fan, I don't think he knew what he had. He had a massive circus-sized, almost saturated color with scenes from the movie in 3D glasses hanging on it, and it was a 3D sequence from one of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. Well, now that 3D is back post-Avatar and successful, all the old 3D memorabilia has gone way up in value, and this was just an amazing poster. And it came with the glasses, from like 1990 something, so it's just been a real treat to see all the different stuff. Posters from Thailand with me on it, my name written in the Thai language, so I love all that stuff.
And obviously you've mentioned Nightmare on Elm Street, you're synonymous with the role of Freddy. I mean, 30 years on, is it still a role that you cherish?
Well, here's the thing, you have to make peace with this stuff. When you have a character that becomes iconic, no one sets out to be, the world's most famous serial killing child killer, but with a pizza face. But he's sort of entered the pantheon now of horror greats. At least he's got his foot in the door. And anytime my name is mentioned, along with Karloff or Vincent Price or anybody, it's such a compliment. And what it did for me was both my science fiction successes and my horror successes opened the doors for me internationally, because those kinds of films speak in the language of cinema, which every culture understands. And so when things get slow for me in Hollywood, I can run off and chase a beautiful young actress around a castle in Spain, and beats working.
Can you talk me back, would it have been 1982, perhaps, when you approached to make the movie? I mean, what was it like those early days, and did you really expect the character to live as long as he has?
No, I don't think any of us thought that this was going to have the status and duration and as many sequels as the franchise has, 8 of them now, and a TV series. We just didn't know. We knew we were onto something, and it was, we knew the cast was kind of special, and we all loved Wes. Back then, we sort of looked at Wes a little more like a David Lynch director. I can remember being in a great ska bar in LA, and they had before the band started, they had these 2 video monitors over the bar, and they had a kind of continuous loop from Eraserhead by David Lynch, and the other one was Hill Have Eyes, the original Wes Craven. So that's sort of how we thought of Wes back then, and I think it's really Wes's genius, that he's there's just so many layers and so much fun and so many kind of hidden drawers in these movies, and everybody in every culture has bad dreams. So whether you're living, in the Yukon or in Mozambique or in London town, everybody's had a nightmare. Everybody's scared of bugs or cockroaches or falling dreams or claustrophobia. And that manifestation is something that all cultures can identify with. And I think that's the genius hook that Wes, incorporated into the original screenplay, which is made for it still being, popular.
And obviously, you're not just synonymous with Nightmare, obviously various other genres as well. I mean, looking back at your career so far, what do you rate highly?
Well, it's so funny. This is my 40th year starring in movies. My first movie was Buster and Billy in the summer of '73. And I just finished a week ago starring with Finn Jones from Game of Thrones and Emily Barrington from The White Queen in a great little UK film called The Last Showing, directed by an unbelievable talent. You're gonna, listen to me now, you heard it here first, Phil Hawkins. This guy is unbelievable, this director. I would go anywhere for him, and I'm so proud of this film. And it's kind of, full circle for me. I'm out of makeup in this, and I'm playing a little damaged, made redundant projectionist, you know, with a horrible little Richard Attenborough mustache from Seance on a Wet Afternoon. But I'm really proud of it, and I'm just so grateful at my age. I'm an old dog now, to still being asked to the dance, you know. And you know, I think I've done close to 80 movies now. Of course, I feel ridiculous telling you that because I'm sitting next to the great Lance Hendrickson here, you know, at the convention at Collectormania, and Lance, I think, is on over 150 movies now, you know. That alien. Filthy alien trash.
and finally, I mean, what do you make of Glasgow? I believe you might have been out and about last night. I mean, what's your first impressions of the city?
Well, this isn't my first time here, and you know, I'm a huge fan of your native son, Rennie McIntosh. So the last time I was here, I just saw everything. And I mean, we had the most phenomenal tour of the art school, and we went to the house, and we went to the tea room, and many other things. And you know, he's so influential on Frank Lloyd Wright, who's our great modern architect. So I sort of did the cultural tour the last time I was here, but this time I made it as far as Merchant Square, which is fine because that's culture too. I had a, thank God it's Friday, I had a TGIF in Glasgow, a little bit of rain, all the beautiful girls getting off work early and hitting the pubs, and it was fun. I had a great time.